Hello everyone and welcome back to more Factorio, not 15, mini megabase, Railworld, all that good stuff, modded, everything. So I think today we're going to start working on a rail station incoming system. Actually, should I get the outposts first? I guess it would make sense to have outposts first, wouldn't it? That's a possibility. I think what we're going to do absolutely first, though, is change the way that we're running these belts. Because these belts don't need to run this way. We can run them right up along the edge here, skirt our way right in. Maybe we probably don't have to take up any further than this area right here, up to where the mouse is. So it doesn't need to stretch all the way out here. I don't need to consume all of this space, and then I can use all of this for train stations and stackers and all kinds of good stuff. So I think the first thing I should do is probably reconfigure the way we have our belts here running in. The belts coming from the local resource deposits, that is. And I think to that end, in order to assist me with such endeavors, since there happens to be so much crap on these, we're going to do a little something to make this a little bit easier on ourselves. And we have regular warehouses. Let's just take a quick peek what the higher tech warehouses require. Where is warehousing? Because it's gonna right there. Where is the logistics warehouses require? Yellow science, because they need a logistics system. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, so what we're going to do then is use a couple of storage chests here. Let's make like 4 of them. And then we're going to run over this way and grab ourselves a whole bunch of bot frames and green circuits. And some roboports. And make ourselves some shit. This is going to really consume the red circuits as well, because we're going to grab these 10 roboports. And I don't think I need 1,000 bots right now, do I? Should I get 1,000 bots? I don't think I need 1,000. Let's just take 500 flying robot frames. And I'm going to need a whole bunch of circuits. Is it 2 circuits per robot, or is it 1 for construction robots? It's 2 per robot, so we need 1,000 green circuits as well. So we are just going to scoop the shit out of some of these green circuits, yo. Just like so. I don't have them being chested, but that's okay, because we've got this big-ass belt of them, and we are definitely using them faster than we're making them at this point. How many do I have? Oh, that is way more than enough. There we go. Let's make ourselves 500 bots. That's going to happen in my inventory for a few seconds, because, you know, it's like, what, a half a second each? Yeah, half a second each. So that's going to take 250 seconds, which is not that long. It's only a couple minutes. Well, sorry. It's more than a couple minutes. It's like double a couple minutes. Oh, look at this coal, though. Yeah, this is an issue. Hold on. Because this is what supplies plastic as well. Sorry, this is what happens in Factorio. You have supply issues, and you have to deal with them as they come up, right? Right? That's totally a thing. It's a thing if I say it's a thing, so screw you. Alright, so we got logistics 3. Yay! We can get red stuff going. Also, mining productivity, because we have red, or purple, rather, science now. Yeah, so this is why there's an issue here. Half the miners are done. Okay. No problemo. We'll get this situation taken care of. Let's just repower that. Actually, that's a regular gun turret. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Well, congratulations on, you know, getting a laser turret to protect you now. These gun turrets, I don't need to worry about running out of ammo anymore. It doesn't look like they've ever fired, though, so I'm not too concerned about that. Let's lay down a few more of these guys, though, to make this operation safe. I guess you gotta go there. And by a few more of these guys, I mean, like, a metric, like, fuck ton of these guys, because why not? There we go. That's just a couple. It's not like it's a lot, right? Right? You know, early game or for new players of Factorio, yes, this would not be a lot. This would be, you know, actually most people would not deploy this many miners on their first mine at all, ever. This would be a mining upgrade for a lot of new players, I suppose. For us, no siree. For us, this is just business as usual. And down we go, and let's just merge that on in, like so. Done like dinner. There we go. Let's just double check those lasers cover. Where the hell is the laser? I know, well, there's a laser here. Yeah, it covers everything, and this one over here covers everything. If a biter comes in, we got them. If a spitter comes in, unless it hits my electric poles, we should be okay. Anyway, that's going to let the coal flow through. As you can see, it's just fully saturating again. It should be absolutely fine. And now let's continue to do what I was going to do, as in robot style. Also, these guys, you know, we could use robots to lift them up too. That's a possibility. It's definitely a possibility. In fact, let's get started there. I'm going to be doing a whole bunch of this off camera. I just want to, you know, do the first step. I've got plenty of robots on me. This should be fine. Before we do this, though, let's put down some chests because I don't want them to just, you know, go wherever. Let's put down 2 chests here, and we'll stick a RoboPort right. Is this going to be in the construction? Oh, yeah, that's definitely going to be in the construction radius for everything. So Mr. RoboPort can go right here, and we will dump in a whole bunch of bots. And since it's automatically set to deconstruct, that's just going to go out there and murder the shit out of all this stuff. Do you still have to build the deconstruction planner? Or is that not a thing you build anymore? It would have been in logistics, right? That's where it would have been. Well, production has the ore eraser and the upgrade planner. Logistics, no, I guess it would have been in production. Yeah, it doesn't look like you still build that. Where is it now? Is it in the, yeah, okay. New deconstruction planner. There we go. We're going to grab one of these guys and we will stick it right here. Put our turrets down there. Right mouse button to open. Yeah, nice. Nice. You can whitelist them now so that they don't just take anything. We're going to take all of this stuff, and then we're also going to want to deconstruct all of these belts, I suppose. That would make sense. I also want this power taken away, but I do want this to connect to this. Is it not close enough? It might not be close enough. Let's just do this, shall we? That's splitters, power, belts. Yeah, that's fine. We just don't want it to take these. Okay, yeah, so that disconnected. That's okay. We need another pole like right there. There, it's connected. Good. And let's do some of these too. God, I love me the deconstruction planner. The bots aren't that fast yet. I think I have speed 2 upgrade, but we obviously need more. But yes. Yesy, yesy, yes. Yes, indeed. I love it. I really, really, really love it. Let's pick in these bots. We definitely could have used more RoboPorts here to have this go quicker, but whatever. I love it! So, what we're going to do is drop a few RoboPorts down and deconstruct all of this stuff, and then I'm going to rebuild the belts in a better position to open up a little bit more space over here. I'm going to do that mostly off camera now that you've seen my sweet, sweet, fancy construction robots at work. And I will see you guys in a couple minutes once that's taken care of. Okay, so the next step in this little project is being to redirect our coal belt. We're going to do a temporary thing. We're running it down this direction. I'm going to fix this up once we do this. I just don't want any interruptions. So it's running down over here, running underneath the input for copper, also up next to the input for stone, adjacent to the coal belt for the smeltery, and all the way north to our coal warehouse, where we're just going to pull it off of this here and connect it in. This will probably just lift up by hand or so because it's just coal and regular belt. But look how quickly we're consuming it off of there. Like, yeah, that's a thing. So now what we're going to do is on the other end, we stopped consuming, but once it actually uses it again, see, it just devours it. So what we're going to do is let this belt drain, and when this belt like charges up, we're going to lift that piece out at the end so it won't sideload anymore, and it'll just connect properly and all that good stuff. Pull this belt out. I think the next thing we should be pulling out is going... yeah, you heard what I said. I think the next thing we need to pull out is going to be this... uranium mining crap. So let's just go ahead and bot that out right now. We don't need the sulfuric here anymore either as a result of all that. So you can just go ahead and pull all of this stuff out. Also, just go ahead and get these pipes while you're at it. I'll have to go and get the other pipes myself. But no big deal. Ooh, get that too. Yay, bots! Oh, I love them. I love them so much. I absolutely adore me, my bots. And we're almost ready to start building. We just have to redirect some of this stuff, lift out some of these things. I did shut down everything here. I could have run all the belts up and into here already, and I would have been producing again, but I figure we're okay with the factory shut down. I don't need it to run for anything in particular. We're doing research, but I can just pause research for a while, so we can basically just shut the factory down. I don't need ammo from it. I have tons of ammo already. I've got tons of turrets in case I need them. I definitely don't need any more materials for things like belts, and honestly, the factory is going to continue to run because I have 80,000 iron and copper in warehouses, so it's going to run for a while, even without me doing anything. What I think I might do is actually just stop research once mining productivity 8 is done. Just don't do it at all, just to limit the amount of resources that it's going to pull from the system. Okay, so I'm going to get this coal line drained and connect in through this direction, which is, yeah, it's running properly. It's all the way down here already. It looks like everything is good there. Doesn't look like we've got any problems. Once the coal line is drained and we've got this one connected in, I'm going to lift up the coal line, and then we're going to start the next phase of the build. I'll see you then. Alright, our belt is out. Everything is good. I'm just deconstructing a little bit more over here, and what I decided to do is actually shut down the factory for the time being. And in order to accomplish that, I think what we're going to do is a little bit of a sneaky tactic here. We're just going to come up here to our materials, and we're going to reverse the loaders pulling out. And that's going to insert, as you would imagine, materials back in, which means that we're basically just going to run out of copper and iron in our factory, and everything will stop producing, and as a result of everything stopping producing, we'll start generating a lot less pollution because we're going to use less power. We're already making a lot less pollution because we stopped smelting, and smelting took a lot, made a lot of pollution, but we're going to reduce the power consumption here. We are using 16.8 megawatts on assembly machines. That's going to go away. The miners will eventually go away as well. Maybe not. Whatever. We're just going to have idle drain, basically. So we are going to drastically reduce our pollution footprint, and as a result of that, I'm hoping we're going to stop getting hit by biters for a little bit while we do this. Doesn't really matter. We're not getting hit very hard by biters. It's just a matter of I don't want to have to deal with them if I don't have to. So we got a few chests here full of materials, and yes, I understand that they're sort of in the way of where I want to build. That was a calculated issue. I knew it was going to happen. We can always just build like a storehouse down here or something. That'd be no problem. I'd much rather have a warehouse. What am I short on for a warehouse? Iron. That's easily fixable. In fact, I'm pretty sure I still had iron down below, but I can just take like a couple things of iron out of here, and I could build myself a warehouse. Success. We're just going to throw a warehouse down here out of the way where we're going to move this stuff to and pull these roboports out. And then we're going to start building our train stations. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so now we're going to do the first little bit of blueprinting for our station. This isn't necessarily how the track is going to lay. I just needed some track down to get set up here. And I'm figuring the station that's going to end up at the top, which again might not be here in the end. We might rip it apart and rebuild it somewhere else, but we can blueprint it for now, is going to be coal, I think, because I think I want to keep this coal warehouse here, and basically I just want to unload all the coal, ship it up, warehouse it in here, and then this is where the power and the smelter coal is going to go, and then we're going to have other stuff going into it ultimately as well. So this station might not be used for a while, or if it's not this one, the one furthest up here might not be used for a while, but I still want to do that. Now I don't have nuclear locomotives. I really, really like nuclear locomotives, because you could do 1-4-1 trains with them. You don't need this 2-4-2 style setup. But what we're going to do is 2-4-2 style trains. And yes, we are going to do double-headed trains. You do want to do double-headed trains in general. There are a million reasons why you want to have double-headed trains, and you want to go point to point on a network instead of being a circle. Instead of your train circle or train system being a giant circle that the train just spins around on somewhere and then comes back in with one head. There are 1,000,001 game reasons why you want your train to have 2 different heads. Not going to go into them in detail here. I might, at some other point, decide to go into them in more detail, but for now, it's just like, if you want to do a train that has a single head on it, fine, by all means. If we do have 4 cargo wagons, we do want 2 locomotives on either side as well. You can do 1-2-1 setups just fine and 1-1-1 setups just fine. But when you go to 4, you want to be 2-4-2. If you want to go up to 6, you probably want it to be 3-6-3. In fact, as it gets bigger, you need those extra locomotives for the extra horsepower. I do love the nuclear locomotives, and not 14. They were really easy to use with the RTGs. They are more powerful and quicker as well, so you can go 1-4-1 with them just fine, and you don't need to have 2 locomotives, which make the train longer and more cumbersome. But this is the way it is. This stop I am naming base in coal, so the location is base. What is it? It's an input. It brings stuff into the base as opposed to an output, which I will label OU. Again, 2 letters, and then coal, the actual material that it is. And what we're going to do as we get attacked is send this guy here to base in coal. And, you can just go there for time past 30 seconds is fine. Let's turn you on. There you go. We're now going to turn you on to manual. The reason we do that is so that it lines up perfectly with the station. You don't have to do that anymore. They actually changed the game so that you can, it locks to the station. The train will lock to the station now. I just like that. It's an old habit. You always used to do that to get the trains perfectly in the station. And now we see this is how far this track is going to need to be in order to do this kind of setup. Out of curiosity, how many more cars could we fit there? Probably 1, 2... 3, 4. We could probably, using this station, do a 3-6-3 setup. But, I mean, I don't want to do 3-6-3 trains. I really don't want to do it. No, we're not going to do it. We're going to do 2-4-2s for now. If we rebuild, we rebuild. I don't give a crap. We will rebuild if we have to. Also, this track obviously does not need to be this long, so let's pull it back a little bit. As you know, I used to have bots here to help me do these things. I guess we could put our roboports down and put bots in, but I figured we'd do that after. Okay, so that's really all there is to that. Now all we need to do is build our inserters and all that stuff, but I have a general idea of the size of the station I need. I want to keep at least this much room over here, because remember, I'm going to need to weave belts through here to get them into the smelters and all that kind of crap for now. Eventually we're going to want to switch to electric smelters, and that's going to take up space. Oh man, I want the room. I want as much room as we can get over here. And then how many stations are we going to want? Probably a good number. We're going to, definitely for now, we're going to need something for coal in, we're going to need something for iron in, we're going to need something for copper in, and then we're going to need an output station to supply our outposts with. So we're definitely going to need that as well. Is there anything else that we desperately need right now? We could do a uranium and a stone one as well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an output station. So 6 basically stations is the bare minimum that we're going to need for the time being. I guess we can make that work. In order to facilitate that, we are going to use stack inserters, which means I need a whole bunch of advanced circuits. I don't have these supplies on me because I'm just sort of piecemealing it and cutting the video as I need to. Doing this very casual, I'll be back with a few more materials to get this stuff loaded. Alternatively, we could use loaders. Ooh, there's a thought. No, I prefer inserters for trains. I'll see you in a second. And when I say a second, I mean literally a second. Look how barren the factory is and totally devoid of any signs of life at the moment. There's plastic. That's something. We've got plastic. And we've got batteries, remarkably. They need iron and copper to make, so the fact that we have batteries is impressive. However, what I should do is grab some of these red circuits before they all get used up, just in case they are being used up, because I need these for the stuff that I'm building. A lot of them, potentially. There we go. That should be enough to get the stuff that I need to do done. And I'm going to need a whole bunch of blue inserters as well to make the rest of my stack inserters, because I don't actually have stack inserters automated. And even if I did, the factory's not running, so it's not like it matters. Hey there, blue inserters. Let me just have 100 of you. And now I will head back up there and see you soon. Okay, so I've spent some time designing this here, and I think I said on camera that I don't like loaders for trains. And I think I have said numerous times in this playthrough so far that I'm trying some things that I don't normally like. I don't normally like warehousing things or like storing materials. I don't like buffers. Buffers suck. Buffers are just materials that are not being used. Like, there's no reason for them. Just balance your freaking input and you don't need a freaking buffer, right? But we're trying them for, you know, whatever simplicity that they might bring to certain situations. I don't like loaders on trains, but I think we're going to try them. Which means I only really need one connected to each train. It's going to get me a solid belt out of it, or one to each car. That way I can get 4 belts off of one of these 4-car trains relatively easily. It doesn't take too long to unload it with red belts. We can upgrade it to blue belts in the future. We could upgrade the trains to add 2 more cars in the future even if we want. And I think this is what the general setup of these stations is going to be. We're going to bring in coal down this line. I might bring a 3rd output out of this so they don't disrupt the power output, and just like curve it down or something like that and through here. And it'll split off into each of the train stations to load up with coal for the time being. And I can't wait until we get logistics up and running, because this is going to make these train stations so much better. But I think this is what our basic design for now is going to be. And I'm going to have to get all of the other stations built. And maybe even this one rebuilt. This might not actually be where this one goes in the end, like I said. I think what we're going to do is run all of our materials to warehouses up here, and then we're going to pull out of the warehouses and go into the smelters. Or maybe they won't be up here. Maybe they'll just be along this little area, but we'll run them into warehouses and then into the smelters. What I don't want to do is run all the materials down into these original warehouses. So I'm thinking we're going to have something a little bit closer to where the train stations are, but we're gonna have to get all the stations set up first. I don't need these stations to be perfectly, like, as tightly packed together as possible. I am willing to put a little bit of space between them because we got a lot of room to work with here. I do need to build a stacker as well, because ultimately I'm gonna want 2 coal trains out there. I'm gonna want 2 iron trains. I'm gonna want 2 copper trains and all that stuff, and I'm only gonna build 1 depot for all these things. So I want one to be able to go and fill up while the other one is unloading and come back. And if this train is still here because it's not empty, they're just going to sit here until they're completely empty. So they're going to act as their own little bit of buffer on the line. Oh, people walking in. Okay, so guys, from that last little clip and this clip coming back here, it's been an entire day. This is literally tomorrow from when I started recording this video. Munchkins and the wife came in, and all kinds of crap happening last night. Never got back to finishing this. Never even managed to get a Pendor video out yesterday at all. So, current situation is we're going to wrap this video up at this point. We not a whole lot that we got done this time, but what we did do, shut down the factory. We did a recap of the stuff that we had done previously, the fact that we have bots up and running and all that good stuff. We shut down the factory. We took out all of these belts here. We got set up to begin preparing for the trainy trains. I'm going to start building some of these stations a little bit and get them laid out, and then we can start actually building our outposts for materials and all that. We'll eventually connect these raw material warehouses back up into the smelters as well so that they can get working again, because I do want to take advantage of these materials still. We also want to mine this out, so we'll put miners up on it and just feed it into this warehouse in the meantime, so we can mine that particular guy out. Just want to give you an idea of the kind of stuff that we will be working on, though. So that's just sort of the business that we're going to be getting up to. This is all full of brick. I realize we have a belt connecting into it, but it is actually full, so it's not going to do anything. See, the bottleneck is yellow. That means it has all the materials it needs. It could run, but the output queue is blocked. There's nothing to output. Red means that the input is blocked, which means that we aren't supplying it fast enough. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to build up our train stations, get them all set up, get the initial storage off of the trains in place so that we can load up all of our smelters and be super duper coolio with everything. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. I know this was sort of recappy and all that kind of stuff, and I apologize, but you know, whatever. And next time, hopefully we'll get some good old-fashioned action in. I hope to see you then.